7:32, everybody, and both sides are claiming victory in last night's first face-off between presidential candidates Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. So here's a clip in case you missed some of it.
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is well known that he admires dictators.
We're a failing nation. We're a nation that's in serious decline. We're being laughed at all over the world. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other.
All right, well, with a little less than 2 months to go until Election Day, the race is too close to call. But did the debate actually make a difference?
Yeah, that is the question many are asking this morning. So joining us this morning to answer that is Republican analyst Chapin Fay and from the University of Mount St. Vincent, Democratic analyst J.C. Polanco. So great to have both of you here. Let's talk about it. I mean, side by side, the two of them were going back and forth, blow by blow. So I don't know who wants to take this one first. But
first of all, I got to make a clarification. I'm an independent, not a Democrat.
That's right. That's right.
I want to make sure.
Yes.
But I do teach at the University of Mount St. Vincent.
Who won the debate?
Oh, Kamala Harris, hands down, knockout, second round, 9:28 p.m. This was over. The thriller in Manila, what we were waiting, we all got it. Millions of people saw Vice President Harris rise up to the occasion. And it was great to see a daughter of immigrants from India and Jamaica take down the biggest bully on earth. We've seen Republicans try. We've seen Democrats try. He comes out unscathed. Yesterday, he was knocked out. It was the most beautiful thing to see.
Chapin?
Well, I totally disagree. He was knocked out. It's very difficult to debate 3-on-1, which I think everyone saw, talking about people's tone of voice and subjective stuff. Debating with Trump, he was fact-checked almost every time. And Kamala Harris was allowed to say whatever she wanted.
3 times.
3 times. That was only 3 times.
That's
Is that right?
That's it. That's all. I mean, I know you guys are sensitive because, you know, you see him actually get fact-checked and the whole world falls down on you because he lied 31 times in this debate, Chapin. Last night was a disaster. And if you were to take off your partisan glasses for a second, you would agree that last night was a disaster for former President Trump and that Kamala Harris destroyed him in this debate. Look, I'm a student of debates. I've participated in a citywide one. It's very important. Poise is important. Facts are important. How you present the case is important. How you connect with people. She did all of the above. You know that.
How do you feel?
But to their point, I mean, a clear runaway winner, knockout punch. I don't think anyone is saying that other than the partisans, right? Trump saying he won, Kamala Harris saying she won. But here's the overall point to answer your question. Everything about these two candidates is baked in, right? Neither one. I mean, you guys want to say that it was a disaster for Trump, but was his performance different from any other debate where he won or lost an election?
I've never seen him in my life talk about Haitians coming after eating dogs and cats.
First of all, hold on.
This guy was a complete mess.
Hold on. Let's talk about that. Were there not?
Please,
the New York Post reported it, so he shouldn't be able to talk.
The New York Post reported it. Last time someone claimed that Haitians were eating animals from the other side, it was in the Dominican Republic.
There's a video.
Hold on.
There's a video on TikTok. I'll send it to you guys of a man saying that Haitian immigrants are taking geese and
we
eating
got to
them.
move on to. Just to be clear, the officials in that town of Springfield are saying it did not happen.
Yes, everything elected officials say is true. So
they're not elected; these are authorities.
Okay, well, let's talk about this, though. Kamala Harris had the most to gain in this debate last night. We didn't hear a lot about, like, details on policy. So do you feel like she took clear advantage of this opportunity to tell the American people who she is?
Look, there's only a handful of voters, as you were talking about, Chapin. Everything is baked in with these two guys. There's only a handful of voters that are going to be able to make this decision. And they're going to sway this election. She was talking to them yesterday. She was talking to Nikki Haley voters. She was talking to John McCain voters. She was talking to independents like me that would have no problem voting for a Republican. She was doing a great job talking to us and really talking about turning the page on what looked like a deranged uncle drunk out of his mind at Thanksgiving dinner, losing his mind in front of the entire country. She did a great job doing it, and I think that if you're trying to convince a handful of people in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin to vote for you because you're different, she did it yesterday.
Well, 2 things. First, a disagreement. Talking about turning the page when you're in the incumbent is ridiculous. And if a Republican incumbent were standing on that stage and said, we're going to chart a new way forward, he or she would have been laughed off the stage. That's the first point. Number 2, JC is right. She's speaking to those exact voters, and she was able to do that. And she's been doing that, and nothing has changed, right? He's got to talk to those voters, and he is him, and he's going to do it his way, whether it's good or bad in regards to those particular voters. And like J.C., Kamala was talking to a lot of those voters and was probably successful at it. But that's already baked in. That's what she's doing off the debate stage as well with her targeted media.
On the issues, right? Because for Kamala Harris, it was really, besides the convention, this was her first time to fully introduce herself to Democratic voters and independents. And I want to zero in on independents for a second, right? For both of them, who are, because it's a tight race, did on the issues, not on anything else, on the issues, did one of them stand out as to drawing an independent into their side? Chapin first.
I mean, I think predictably, I would say no. I mean, I think she was vague in a lot of her answers, right? She did outline some policy issues, but, you know, she was asked about probably the toughest question of the night for her when the moderator listed, you know, 3 or 4 things she had changed her opinions on, and then she started talking about her mother. I mean, so
what about Mr. Trump?
No, this is Vice President Harris.
Yeah, I'm saying, but for him, did he draw anybody in with any of the things he said?
You know, I think if I was going to give him some constructive feedback, I think he spent a little too much time on each answer. I think the beginning of his answer on abortion, Republicans have a horrendous time typically, tie themselves in knots, especially nationally or here in New York, talking about abortion, particularly if they're pro-life, right? And they alienate almost everybody when they talk about it. And I thought he was very strong, outlining exactly what he would and wouldn't do. And then, you know, I think his problem in debates is he keeps talking, right? And he, you know, the best politicians will know to just stop, right? When they think they've, you know, landed a punch. And he kept going. I think they both do that. I think that's just the way the debate is set up. But I would give it a time on policy. I think they both had some strong moments,
so?
And I think he.
Chapin.
I mean, did he not outline exactly what he was going to do on abortion?
All I heard yesterday was a discussion about how horrible America was, how immigrants are eating cats and dogs, how immigrants are terrible, how everything came back to immigrants. No, this is what he does. When I say turn the page, it's that same old Trump playbook. Her answers on abortion were on point. Her answers as to how he uses race were on point. Look, America and independents like me who would vote Republican see this, and we know what we're dealing with. We saw someone who called President Obama an undocumented immigrant. He is the candidate of the white supremacists. Not all Trump supporters are white supremacists, but every white supremacist in this country is looking at Donald Trump and supporting him. So don't tell me that yesterday was a Trump fest for policy, because it was not. But what did we hear? We heard Kamala Harris's position on small businesses and startups and tax credits. We heard her position on foreign affairs, and I think was very important.
In a week in the new audience.
Wait a minute. Your guy actually tried to convince the country that Democrats, independents, and Republicans wanted to get rid of Roe versus Wade with a straight face, Chapin. That is absurd. I think her answer about the little girl who just got raped by her dad, the question about her, the victim of rape, and all these people that were bleeding out because doctors are afraid to give them the health care they need. I think those answers were on point. And we saw a man who was absolutely deranged. If you watch that interview again, it was all about the same old 2016 rhetoric.
The questions are independents, but we got to leave it there. Fiery, to say the least, the morning after with the both of you. Okay.
I wish we could continue this conversation.
Thank you.
We appreciate both of you coming in.
Great to have you both.